Hey there, welcome to my review for Star Wars, Episode 7, The Last Jedi. So before I begin, I just want to give you this warning. Spoilers! 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 There are gonna be spoilers in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, well, go watch my initial thoughts review where I kept spoilers to an absolute minimum, mostly more thematic spoilers than anything. So, but in this video, spoilers are gonna be a thing, and I wanted to let you know before we got too far. So, you've been warned. If you have not seen The Last Jedi yet, I recommend not watching this video until you do. And if you don't care about spoilers, you don't. That's fine for you, I guess. But anyhow, but into my review proper. Well, to begin with, I enjoyed the movie. It actually might be it's in my opinion one of the best Star Wars movies ever. Obviously, it's better than the prequels, and actually might be my favorite one so far. In my opinion, it might be better than The Empire Strikes Back. There's enough thematic similarities to Empire Strikes Back that it resonates as a middle part of the story where the heroes are at their lowest, but it was not a remake, not a shot-for-shot remake, not a remake in plotline. If anything, a thematic remake. And I don't even know if that counts too much, but thematic and theming, that stuff can be more complex, and I can make, and in a way, sometimes the best remakes are the ones that aren't remakes. Does that make sense? But anyhow, The Last Jedi was not The Empire Strikes Back. Sure, you had the First Order striking back, but the Resistance fared much worse than the Rebellion did at the end. The Resistance got off the base, though they lost a lot of supplies before it was destroyed with an orbital bombardment. That is actually pretty impressive. Then they fled and were losing their ships. All of their ships ended up being lost, and then they went on to an old rebel base that was heavily fortified in order to mount a kind of last line defense, and a base that would have enough power to get a distress signal, which was received but nobody responded to, probably because they're scared. But really, the heroes are really down. They only have the Millennium Falcon. No X-wings, no freighters, no transports, no cruisers, no nothing. They are just outright diminished. So but I'm pretty sure they'll find some more Rebel Alliance hardware and commandeer it. I'm guessing the home ones out there is actually probably a museum ship in the Star Wars universe, so it's actually probably a Hosnian Prime. Before The Last Jedi, people were speculating that the Resistance had it because Admiral Akbar was allied with the Resistance. Who knows for sure, but yeah. But and the bombers, man, I gotta say those bombers are good bombers. But they were flying so close together that one got hit when the bombs were armed and destroyed all the bombers but one. But they destroyed the dreadnought, so I guess there's that. But it did not really work out too well for them at all. I mean, the Resistance was downright beaten. The Rebel Alliance wasn't. The Rebel Alliance won at half, from a certain point of view. Half, they achieved their goals. It was a delaying action in order to evacuate. Jakar was actually a success for the Resistance under that model too, the evacuation of Jakar. But the Battle of Crate, that was a loss. Their goal was to hold off long enough for a rescue to come from their allies. And nobody comes except for the Falcon, who was already there looking for them. But yeah, so the Resistance ultimately decimated, unlike the Rebellion was, which had more assets than the Resistance did. I have a feeling they'll go and get most of their support, if they get any, in the Outer Rim regions, or even wild space. But it was, as I said, a good movie. I should actually address my prediction somewhat, and I was slightly correct. I was slightly correct that Kylo Ren would turn on Snoke, and that was it. And I say slightly because he still stayed to the dark side. But amazing. But that scene where Kylo killed Snoke was like unbelievable. Snoke knew what Kylo was doing, but he did not know who Kylo was going to kill. He knew the conflict and Kylo was gone, but he didn't see it right. Snoke was misguided, but unbelievable how they killed Snoke off in this film. I expected him to be around for another film. Just showing you it's really not like Empire Strikes Back at all. So I guess we'll never get an story to Snoke now. Oh man, what is the Snoke series going to say? Oh, I should also talk about Rey's parents. Apparently they're nobody. A reasonable guess. But do I trust Kylo? No, I don't trust Kylo. Kylo said they're nobody and seemed to play on Rey's feelings to get her to confirm it. So they might be nobody. But do we trust Kylo? I seriously don't trust Kylo at all. Because Rey had her own like dark side cave experience, which reminded me of on Actor, which reminded me of from the Force Unleashed 2 Starkiller Gan and Merrick's experience in the dark side cave on Dagobah. Remind me more of that than Luke's, but like nothing was actually revealed to Rey though, nothing at all, which is actually quite peculiar. And she wanted to know her parents, but that wasn't revealed. I think there's more going on than her parents just being nobody. Because if they were nobody, they could have just thrown two random actors on one actor and one actress. Or do they just prefer the term actor now? I have no idea. But just throw two people up there, and boom, parents. They could have done that. Granted, I wouldn't have played that well into the plot line, but they could have done that to confirm that they were nobody. And they could still be nobody, but we could be wrong. But I can say for sure it's not Leia, it's not Han, and it's not Luke. The only reason why is because, come on, Luke or Leia would have recognized her as she was related to them. That doesn't mean she's not related to somebody we know, but they were just nobody, or at least nobody compared to the Skywalkers. That's actually, they're said to be nobody scavengers, but that's what Kylo Ren said. Do we trust Kylo Ren? I did predict that we were going to get a reveal of Rey's parents, and we did. Much better different than Luke's reveal, so not like Empire Strikes Back. But enough but I like Darth Vader. Many people didn't trust that Darth Vader, and that's why they added in Yoda confirming it in Return of the Jedi. So again, do we trust Kylo Ren? A good switcheroo would be almost to reveal that Kylo Ren was lying in whatever Episode 9 is going to be. Kind of switch on how Darth Vader was actually telling the truth to Luke. Again, to help differentiate a bit more. Keep them separate. Or they are just nobody, but I would kind of love if Kylo Ren lied to Rey to try to get her to support him. And then they're pulling on the lightsaber echoes back to when they were both trying to get the lightsaber in The Force Awakens, or I think Rey got in more subconsciously. Now, fully intending to, but anyhow, how they were both trying to get it with the Force, and then it ended up splitting in half. The Skywalker lightsaber split in half, utterly destroyed. Unbelievable, really, totally unbelievable. Just something you really would not totally expect to happen. And then of course Rey has the pieces of the lightsaber at the end of the film. So yeah. But also another thing, when the Resistance was a great, Luke appeared. Oh man, that was like, is that really Luke? Like, Okay, oh, he rebuilt his lightsaber because his lightsaber was shown to be dismantled on Octo. I didn't get a good look at the lightsaber till later. And if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about, of course. But what set me off at first, because the first person he talked to was Leia, and his build was not graying, which which told me that is that really Luke? He's younger than he was earlier. And so I like he has to be a Force Ghost now or projecting his image somehow, which he ended up doing projecting the image, but we found that out later, but when he talked to C3PO and C3PO responded, he was like, that's Luke for real! I was, even despite my doubts, I was convinced until until Kylo Ren's lightsaber went through him and he did not die. When now when the black Kylo Ren had ordered all the First Order guns to fire on Luke and he didn't die, I actually thought, okay, the Force protected him. He just let it protect him. But man, projecting himself there and being able to interact physically, and then the dice for the Millennium Falcon is like he took the dice and brought them with him and left them there, but then they disappeared as well, confirming that they were too just a Force apparition that many people could see. And then of course there was also Luke kissed Leia's forehead, so kind of a callback to Empire Strikes Back when they kissed, but as a this time clearly as a brother kissing his sister, not in sense as a essentially ended up being in the Empire Strikes Back. But how were they supposed to know it back then? It hadn't been revealed to them, and it was likely, very likely. I would say actually was not written yet for that. But kind of that was a nice callback back and all that. And then again, the resistance failed actually really to hold back the Empire Strikes Back. I mean, not the Empire Strikes Back, the First Order on Crate, which was pretty impressive. And I also liked how the First Order miniaturized Death Star technology to build essentially a laser battering ram to blast through, blast doors. That was impressive. Kind of the new super weapon, as it was in a way the super weapon of this movie, and it was not destroyed. Just miniature Death Star tech. Kind of impressive. And I could have sworn they were going to kill off Finn when he was going forward to try to destroy. But then Rose crashes into his speeder to knock him off course and saves him. I was like, whoa. I have expected Luke Ex Machina also as well, but that was almost Deus Machina. But it does kind of show, but they pay off very well that what was going on there. And then of course at the end of the movie, of course then all the three good guy leads have finally met. Because Rey and Finn had met and Poe and Finn had met, but Poe and Rey had not met. They finally met. And then so that was kinda nice to see. And then of course so in 3 movies so far somebody has been in the Millennium Falcon's med bay essentially. You had Luke in The Empire Strikes Back, Finn in The Force Awakens, and now Rose in The Last Jedi. Kind of interesting, kind of a callback to that, and like Finn being in the med bay, not too much of a callback to The Empire Strikes Back, but Rose being in the sick bay on the Millennium Falcon, a bigger callback to The Empire Strikes Back, but not a bad one at all. But still a callback, but it's a good callback. Like, hey, that's familiar, but it's not overbearing. Just the passing thing that also builds character between the characters as well. Quite really a pretty good way of doing it without being a remake of what happened in The Empire Strikes Back. Because also, unlike Luke, Rose remained unconscious throughout that. Pretty nice to see. And then of course Rose and Finn I think might develop a relationship by the time of the next movie or by the end of the next movie. Saga film to be more specific. Just seems like they might develop a chemistry. So yeah, that was kind of neat. And then of course Canter Bite, kind of interesting. Kind of Finn was we knew it as an audience, knew what Canter Bite was like. Kind of wish we hadn't known already, cause then when Rose told Finn that it's the worst place in the galaxy, we would be imagining someplace more on the lines of what's the word? Sorry, of Tatooine and Mos Eisley. But then we ended up seeing a casino. I really wish they hadn't revealed too much about Canterbite, cause that way it could have been kept semi. That way, when Rose said we think like Mos Eisley is a as Obi-Wan Kenobi said a a something hive of scum and villainy. Have that pop into our heads and then play against it. That actually would have been nice. That really would have been nice. Wish they had done it that way. But they didn't. But they still played it off pretty good. And then we got to see more of an emotional side to Rose and why she thinks that and that. And then I also there was some good laughs in there at the right moments in a way. Like BB-8 ate some a patron in the Canterbury Casino trying to use him as a slot machine. So BB-8 just ended up collecting coins, and then when he broke Finn and Rose out of the jail there on Canterbury, he uses the coins as a projectile to knock the guards down. Quite funny. And and really, BB-8, despite looking cute, is quite deadly. Maybe even more deadly than the Ewoks. Because literally, he ties up a bunch of Canterbury policemen, knocks one out with coins, and then when Rose and Finn are escaping the supremacy, you know what? He commandeers the First Order variant of the ATSD and just blasts them. Man, R2-D2, the most he got was using an electric shock, except for maybe when he was helping somebody pilot a starfighter. R2-D2 is not that deadly, but apparently R2-D2 does have a bit of a bad mouth. We always suspected that based off of, besides the fact that he speaks in droid speak, which essentially bleeps everything he says, but 3CPO's reactions to it, but how when he and Luke met on October the Millennium Falcon, Luke told him, "Hey, watch your language. This is a sacred place." I just kind of found that like, yeah, yeah. Apparently he does. But yeah, it was quite neat what's going on really for the whole movie. It was a very good movie. The supremacy and all that, and then of course Captain Phasma and Finn got to square it off, and I think they killed Captain Phasma off. And then she'll come back like Boba Fett did in Legends. So it's possible but I could have sworn she was on because they destroyed her because Finn destroyed her mask, so we got to see her eyes. So that was making me think because of how much in her where she came from, how much the mask meant that her mask getting destroyed could have been symbolic of her maybe switching alliances, which would have been interesting to see. But it looks like they killed her off. But we don't know for sure. We just have good suspects on that. I really think they might have killed her off, but they could. And she fell the same way Boba Fett did, falling down. They both got a commodities the same way. In the first film, they appeared, they didn't do much, and then in the second film, they got killed. Really, there are similarities, but she went out a little bit better than Boba Fett, who got his jetpack stabbed and it went haywire. At least, no, she and Finn were fighting. She knocks Finn down the well, but a lift was coming up, so it saved Finn. So, and he was able to get the drop on her and destroy her helmet, and then we just took her off base. And then, yeah, and man, the hangar bay for the supremacy was absolutely ginormous. Really something you don't expect We don't expect one hangar bay to be that big. You expect multiple smaller hangar bays as well. Um, yeah, it was a good movie as I said. But yeah, it was also neat how they folded the shuttle. I wish I remember that shuttle looked like, but it reminded me of a Lambert class shuttle. Don't know if it is a Lambert class shuttle or a new variant, but that was actually pretty nice to see. Yeah, and then of course it was pursued by two TIE fighters, and the shuttle barely got in, killing Rose and Finn, and then everyone started firing on, all the resistance started firing on it, so they raised their hands. Kind of nice to see that does happen. You know, what happens when rebels did steal Imperial shuttles and land? How often do you think they were actually accidentally get shot at? You see that a little bit, but yeah, nice to see that some more. And I was actually surprised that how they are, not surprised, oh, surprised that they killed off Admiral Akbar. Yeah, they killed Admiral Akbar off in this film, aboard the Radis, named after another Mon Calamari who died in battle. Eh, but yeah, that actually surprised me how they killed Admiral Akbar off so easily, and that scene like, and they got all the bridge crew got blown into space. Like, okay, I know they didn't change how they were going that originally changed what was going to happen to Princess Leia because of Carrie Fisher's death, but Coco could have actually died, but knew her character wasn't going to die, but like, did they change it? No, they couldn't have. And then she used the Force to bring her to bring herself back to the Radis, and she was treated. And then of course, and then of course, Poe and then Vice Admiral Hodor, Median Hodor, I think, took command of the what was left of the fleet, and yeah, and she and Poe did not get along, and Poe essentially conducted a mutiny. Really, with the support of like every pilot, most I would say a good portion of the soldiers, but also I was also with Carrie Fisher's daughter, who played a bigger role in this film than she did in the last film. Film. Just kind of neat how some things there kind of neat to see there. I've said that too many times. But yeah, kind of nice to see. And I wonder, but I do wonder what's going to happen in episode 9. But yeah, back to Canter Bite. The very last scene was on Canter Bite, and we see, some young children there. One of them obviously took Rose's ring. Rose probably gave it to him, and I think he might have that little boy might actually have force potential because he seems to use the force to grab a broom and start sweeping. So that's where those three kids we saw there, especially the one who had Rose's rebel resistance ring, are going to be the future of the rebellion. I'm going to use the rebellion because that's what it's that's what it seems like the resistance is going to become, a new rebellion. So yeah, but it's going to be those kids that's going to be the not necessarily the new heroes, but those who will help defeat the First Order, which I bet is going to happen. How, I don't know. And so yeah, that so yeah, I do wonder how they're going to do that to a certain degree, but I'll be patient, hopefully, and wait and see. Now, of course, back to my prediction. I predicted we would get like something from the chits, because that would be neat. At like in the end, nope, I was wrong. But I do think I prefer this ending. But I actually would love for the chits do make an appearance in the films in episode 9, because the New Republic, what's left of it's gonna be gone, probably destroyed if it puts up a fight. Few might have escaped, and we might see them joining with the Resistance. I actually guarantee that, and hiding in the unknown regions. But I do wonder, like, sure, you're fighting the Resistance New Republic Rebellion will be fighting an asymmetric war, but the First Order is better designed to combat asymmetric warfare than the Empire was. So, yeah, so they might have to try to do more traditional battles. And they would need somebody like the Chiss to support them. And we know the Chiss are out there, so unless that was the First Order's first subjugated planet, yeah. But I would still love for the Chiss to appear in the films and to help the resistance, help the rebellion defeat the First Order. In my opinion, would be the best possible way of doing it, and a good way to bring them in as well, as I said in my predictions. But that's kind of muted. But yeah, I did enjoy the film immensely. It was a good film. I'm trying to find other things. Oh yeah, I have not talked much about about Rey's experience with Luke and how Luke was reluctant to teach her and how she slowly found out what happened to Luke Skywalker's Jedi Order. And we know what brought it down? Fear. Fear in Kylo, or I should say fear in Ben, and fear in Luke. Luke feared Kylo's darkness rising and consuming him, and was briefly tempted to kill Kylo in order to prevent it, but decided against it, but not soon enough where Kylo thought he was going, or Ben thought he was going to be killed, and so he responded in kind. And apparently that's and killed Luke Skywalker students, and those he didn't kill came with him to join the First Order, most likely. Those are the Knights of Ren, and that probably explains why he's their master. Other things I should probably mention as well about that, and how it slowly came out what happened. We have Luke's first version of it, where he kind of just said that he failed Kylo Ren, failed Ben, but not too much else about it. And then Rey, he was Kylo's version, and then Rey, he was the full and final complete version from Luke. Kind of nice how they built on that at all. Also, what was neat to see is the first time Luke when Luke finally agreed to start training Rey, how his first lesson was to teach her what the Force is, and also not meant so much to teach Rey, but to also teach Rey about the Force and why the Jedi needed to end. The first lesson, to reach out to the Force and find out what the Force is, and so Luke had to say crisscross applesauce on a rock, told her to reach out. She reached out with her arm, and what did Luke do? He had a plant and tickled her hand with it. It was a quite humorous thing, but then got more serious and all that, and supported the dark side in that. And what struck me is how at the end of it, Rey said that the one thing she didn't sense in the Force was Luke, since what she sensed was how he had detached himself from the Force. Sorry about my hiccups there. You may not have heard them, but I don't know. I'm still apologizing for them anyhow. But yeah, that scene there, that was funny. And then of course we got to see the ancient Jedi text and all that. So yes, there was really a lot packed into that Rey's lessons, and then how she and Kylo communicated through the Force and could see each other but not their respective surroundings. And it was apparently revealed later that was Supreme Leader Snoke manipulating both of them. Man, is he powerful with the Force? Really, Supreme Leader Snoke was powerful, but no, Rey was right. His overconfidence in his own power, his apprentice, his ability to win, is what undid him. He was overconfident. He was so confident that his side was going to win, that he had control over Kylo Ren, that Kylo Ren was loyal to him, and that he had the power to know that is what ultimately led to, well, the Supreme Leader Snoke's death. The same thing that ended up leading to Darth Sidious's death. dark side users apparently have the same thing. They're overconfident in their own abilities and their ability to control other people and other people's loyalty to them. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I found very is interesting is how when kind of highlighting the tension between Kylo Ren and General Hux, how when after the lightsaber exploded on the Supreme Leader's chambers, Ky- and oh sorry, I lost train of thought, but how that happened and then both Rey and Kylo seem to be knocked out, but Rey seemed to recover first and then use the Supreme Leader's personal escape craft to get away with the lightsaber pieces because while Kylo was still out. And when General Hux came in, though, he seemed like he actually he grabbed his blast, he was reaching for his blast to kill Kylo Ren because they don't get along. When Kylo Ren started stirring it, he quickly put his blaster away. And Kylo Ren, of course, lied about who killed the Supreme Leader. Instead of saying he did it, he said that Rey had done it. Again, makes me distrust how he claimed that Rey's parents were nobody. Because the things in the Force Awakens seem to contradict that. Now again, Daisy really did say it's obviously supposed to be super apparent, but still, I think it's more disparent than it was before. Oh, oh yeah, Luke is. Oh yeah, I shall also end with this. Luke is now one with the Force. He essentially in a way, overexerted himself to delay the First Order, to delay Kylo Ren specifically, to allow what was left of the Resistance to escape and run away. Quite actually an impressive thing right there. And then just became one with the Force, and then his cloak blew away. Reminiscent of Obi-Wan Kenobi a lot when you think about it. And then of course, I should also mention nobody really and it was really when Kylo Ren, as I said earlier, Kylo Ren sliced Luke with his lightsaber, but Luke didn't die. How I knew that it wasn't really Luke's, maybe a Force apparition. I should actually have realized when I realized that the lightsaber he was using was not his green one, but the blue Skywalker lightsaber. I really should have realized that, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's possible. It is possible, I guess. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this movie, I think, has the most use Leia has ever done with the Force. Even in Legends, I don't think she did not use the Force a whole lot. If you pardon me, I need to get a drink of water. It's over 30-minute review. Will do that to you. Now that I'm refreshed, I can continue with my review, which do I want to say a lot more or end it? I could actually say so much more. I should talk about the beginning of the film. I know this review has been a bit disjointed, but I'm just going where it takes me. So the beginning of the film and the resistance evacuating the car, and then Poe just goes up and contacts the First Order as he's flying to the Dreadnought and asks to speak with General Hux. General Hux responds, talks, but not Kylo, Poe essentially toys with him. Him's like, oh, like, I'll hold till you get General Hux. And kept dead 3 or 4 times as he was getting closer to the Dreadnought. So he could use thrusters to zoom in super quickly in order to destroy the cannons. And then so the resistance bombers could go up and destroy the Dreadnought to prevent it from firing, which it didn't work for the base, but it did end up working to protect the Rada. So I guess that is a good thing there. But kind of funny how Poe just toyed with General Hux as a delaying action. And one of the officers said, I think he's toying with you. I just love that. That was so funny. But it's also nice to actually see First Order and nice to really see ship-to-ship communications between enemies. You don't see that too much in Star Wars unless they're surrendering. Really, you don't see that. One episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars saw it, but yeah, if you're talking about during battle, not that thing in episode one. Guess I does semi count, but you don't get that too often between opposing factions. That's more of a Star Trek move, but I loved it there. And also, yeah, the Resistance bombers. Nice to see that they're really good bombers. Kind of wish at least one had survived, but does do it. Do it. And then crew, one of the crew members on the bomber who ended up making the bombs able to release was Rose's sister, I believe. Yeah, sister. And that just helps kind of tie in. And apparently, and then Rose's introduction, her crying over the death of her sister. Kind of nice to see the emotion. You don't always get to see that. And then I'm not Finn was trying to escape through an escape pod. And she mentioned that she has like stunned two or three other people who are attempting to desert. And then she stuns Finn for doing this when she realized what he's doing. Quite impressive actually. And then, yeah. Oh man, there's so much. Oh, and then we get to see Maz again, who is having union disputes. I just gotta say, she's having bad union disputes, having to fight using a D8-17 blaster pistol as essentially a rifle because of her small stature and a jetpack. I'm like, can we have her as a Star Wars Battlefront 2 hero? Because a small Yoda-sized being wielding a blaster and a jetpack. Come on, that sounds cool, doesn't it? I think it would have been a very neat, because I just think it would be, and I would love to see it in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So EA, get right on that. Actually, I'll make a video for my gaming channel. Go check my gaming channel out, where I'll be requesting that EA does that. But anyhow, yeah, that was kind of neat, and that's how we hear about hacker who to get them in. So they go. That's why Rose and Finn go to Canterbury with BB-8. They end up not getting the hacker they were going for, but end up getting essentially that Benicio del Toro's character, who again we don't have a name, but yeah, he steers the ship to get off. He rescues them. And what else does he do? Oh yeah, a lot of things. Oh, he essentially goes into the ship, he stole his computer, and finds out whoever owned it was selling to both the Resistance and the First Order. So yeah, it's quite impressive there. And then of course he gets them almost there, but he but he's not the only one who betrays them. No, and a First Order BB unit actually I think figures this out because he sees the box moving but nothing there. This is pretty neat way of disguising BB-8. Of course, if there was a bean from Star Wars Rebels there, BB-8 would have got a new paint job, but this turning him into like a box droid is pretty impressive. But that BB unit, I was actually half expecting that BB unit not to report them and to actually help them. But that didn't happen. I was half expecting that. But the First Order makes sure their droids are loyal, and probably they get very frequent memory writes, and so wasn't gonna be a thing. But I was half suspecting for a few seconds. But yeah, it was nice to see really the heroes fail at a lot of things. Not have a strategic failure and a tactical failure. The heroes managed to get at least one of them in The Empire Strikes Back. Not in this film. Which was very nice to see. The heroes, as I said, I don't know if I said in this review already, but I am going to repeat it, that in my opinion, the heroes are even down further than they were at the end of Empire Strikes Back. Closer to how down the heroes were at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Just some food for thought there. So I believe that is going to conclude my review. So thank you for watching it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and comment down below what was, in your opinion, the your most enjoyable, your favorite part from The Last Jedi? I still have yet to decide yet. I will actually have a video where I'll be talking about my top favorite moments from this film, but it's going to be a couple months out, so stay tuned for that. You can subscribe to this channel to get notified of future Star Wars content. I just want to say I won't have too many more videos. This week I really only have, besides my versus video I hope to get out tomorrow. I have another Star Wars Last Jedi video for tomorrow. I'll have a another Star Wars video the 22nd. It won't be related to the Last Jedi. And then I have a Star Trek video on the 21st. That is going to conclude my essentially my 2017 for me. I still have a few more music vids to put out on there, but not too many other big videos coming out. I'll have more videos on my gaming channel as well, and that. But just kind of wanted to let you know that. Subscribe to this channel to and ring the bell to be notified of future content. Also, feel free of checking out some of my other channels. Links are in the description. I apologize for my hiccups. And as always, oh, before I say that, I would like to request that you support me on Patreon. I have a few goals that you can read them, but one of my earlier goals is to purchase better recording equipment. Better camera, better microphone, which I know I need, better software for video editing and that stuff. So I just wanted to let you know that and consider supporting me on Patreon, and if you do, there's rewards that you get some exclusive content. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.